mathematics, arithmetic progression. Divide 32 into 4 parts which are in AP such that the product of extremes is to the product of means is 7:15. That is, recall. Divide 32 into 4 parts. That is, recall again. Divide 32 into 4 parts. We need to divide 32 into 4 parts which are in AP. The terms are in AP. We need to divide 32 into 4 parts. After making the 4 parts, that parts should be in the AP. Then, such that the product of extremes, when we are taking the terms, the product of those extreme terms, 4 terms, the extreme terms is the product of means and extremes. 4 terms we have taken. Means product and extremes product is 7:15. That is reversely 15:7. Then so product of extremes and product of means is 7:15. So here we need to divide that 32 into 4 parts such that that is in AP. That 4 terms are in AP, and product of extremes is to the product of means is 7:15. So let us recall again. If we have taken 32 into 4 parts, that should be in AP. The 4 terms are in AP. When we divided 32 into 4 parts, that 4 parts should be in AP, and product of extremes and product of means should be in the form of 7:15. Then we need to find out those terms. So we know that the terms should be taken as the 4 terms B. Let 4 terms B A minus D, A plus D, and A plus 3D, A minus 3D. These are the 4 terms. We know that the difference between the common difference between the terms is 2D. And when we are taking the 4 terms, we already discussed that we need to take in this form A minus 3D and A minus D, and A plus D and A plus 3D. So here in the problem, divide 32 into 4 parts. Let us take, we have taken the 4 parts as this, and which are in AP, this is in AP, and such that product of extremes, we have taken that product of extremes. Extremes are these two, product of these extremes, and is to the product of means. That is equals to 7:15. Product of means is A minus 3D, A plus 3D, A minus 3D, A plus 3D. These are the product of means, and product of, this is A minus 3D and A plus 3D. These are product of extremes. Product of extremes. These are the extremes we have taken. A minus 3D, A plus 3D. These are the extremes. Product of extremes. We multiply these extremes. Is to is nothing but, this is to. We know the ratio is to product of means. Product of means is nothing but A minus D, A plus D. A minus D into A plus D, because product of extremes are this. Product of extremes, we multiply these two, is to product of means. Means are these two we have written. Is nothing but equals to 7:15. That is 7:15 we have written. Product of extremes is to product of means is equals to 7:15. This can be written as, we know that the ratio is nothing but the division of two quantities. A is to B can be written as A by B. Division of two quantities is called ratio. So A is to B can be written as A by B. So in this one, A minus 3D, A plus 3D divided by, this is these two can be written as divided by a minus d, a plus d equals to 7 by 15. We know that this ratio can be represented as a by b. So this we have written as a by b form. So division form we have written. This also written in the form of division. So let us simplify this part. So a minus 3d into a plus 3d. This is in the form of a minus b into a plus b. So let us multiply this to a square minus 9d square. After applying a minus b into a plus b, we got a square minus b square, that is a square minus 9b square, divided by a minus d into a plus d, that is a square minus d square, equals to 7 by 15. So to find out the value of a and d, let us simplify this part. So we got a square minus 9d square divided by a square minus d square equals to 7 by 15. We got this term. So we need to find out the value of a and d. So let us do cross multiplication of these terms. So 15 into a square minus 9d square equals to 7 into a square minus d square. So we have taken the same term here and then we are doing cross multiplication of it. So we got 15 into a square minus 9d square equals to 7 into a square minus d square. Then after that, so when we got 15 into a square, 15 into 9d square, there is a 15 here, we need to distribute this 15 among these two terms, that is multiplication. So 15 into a square, 15a square minus 15 into 9d square equals to, when we multiply with 7, 7 into a square, 7a square, 7 into d square, 7d square. So there is a minus symbol between these two, so minus. So after here we can see that there is a square term here. There is a square term here and there is a square terms here. So let us transpose this a square to left hand side. So 15a square, when we transpose this 7a square to left hand side, it becomes minus 7a square equals to, when we transpose this 15 into 9d square, 15 into 9d square, 15 into 9d square minus 15 into 9d square, it became plus 15 into 9d square, because when we transpose minus to this side, it becomes plus. So here there is left out of 7d square. So here when we multiply 15 into 9, that is 135d square minus 7d square. Here 15 minus 15a square minus 7a square. This is the same step we have written. When we subtract these two terms, because these are like terms, when we subtract them, we will be getting 8a square equals to, when we subtract these two terms, we will be getting 128d square. So here we can see that the value of, we need to find out the value of a and d. So here when we subtract this two, 15a square minus 7a square, we will be getting 8a square, and when we multiply 15 into 9, we got 135d square minus 7d square. After subtraction of this two, 135 minus 7, so we got 128. There is a d square here. So here we need to find out the value of a and then we can find out the value of d. So let us see that previously we have taken the four terms as a minus 3d, a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d. So here it is given that divide 32 into 4 parts. So that 4 parts, we added the 4 terms which will be equals to 32. So when we add these 4 terms, it will be equals to 32 because it is given that divide 32 into 4 parts. So we divide these 4 terms and it becomes 32. So when we add this all the 4 terms, it should be equals to 32. So here it is given that divide 32 into 4 parts, divide 32 into 4 terms which are in AP, so that 32 is divided into 4 terms and the sum of the 4 terms is equals to 32. So a minus 3d plus a minus d plus a plus d plus a plus 3d is equals to 32. Sum of the 4 terms, if you added that 4 terms, then it becomes 32. So it became equals to 32. So let us see here, there is minus 3d and plus 3d. We can cancel this. So minus d and plus d cancel. After cancellation of this, so we got, there is a and there are 4 a's are left out. So 4a is equals to 32, and when we cancel this 4 table, then we'll be getting a is equals to 8. So a is equals to 8 we got finally. Previously we have simplified that the product of extremes and product of means is equals to 7:15. Then we got ak square is equals to 128d square previously. And let us simplify with a, and then here we'll get 8 into a square. A is the value 8, so it becomes 8 square is equals to, so 128d square. So 8 square is nothing but 64. 8 into 64 is equals to 128d square. So let us simplify this part. And here this is in multiplication. 128 is in multiplication. When we transpose this 128 to left hand side, it becomes 8 into 64 divided by 128 is equals to d square. So we can cancel this 24 and 128. That is in 3 times. So it is in 2 times. When we cancel this 64 in 128, it cancels by 2 times. 64 into 2, that is 128. So here there is 8 by 2 left out. 8 by 2 is equals to d square. 8 by 2 is equals to nothing but 4. D square is equals to 4. We need to find out the value of d. D is equals to plus or minus 2. So d is equals to plus or minus 2. So a is 8, and then let us find out the terms. Terms are, we have taken the terms are a minus 3d and a minus d and a plus d and a plus 3d. These are the 4 terms. We need to find out the 4 terms. So when a is equals to 8 and d is equals to plus 2, and we have d value. There are 2 terms of d. So 2 values of d, that is plus 2 and minus 2. So let us take now plus 2. When d is plus 2, then terms will be 8 minus 3 into plus 2, 8 minus 6, that is a 2, and 8 minus d is 2, so it becomes 6, and then 8, this is 8 plus 2, that is 10, and 8 into 3 into 2, 8 plus 3 into 2, that is 8 plus 6, that is 14. Then we can find out that 4 terms are, here we can observe that is 2, 6, 10, 14. 2, 6, 10, 14. This is the AP terms. When we added these 4 terms, we'll be getting 32. We can see, observe 24, 30, 32. So 4 terms. So here a minus 3d is equals to 8 minus 3 into minus 2. It becomes 8 plus 6 is equals to 14. And a minus d is 8 minus of 2. It is 8 plus 2 is 10. And then a plus 3d. A plus d is nothing but a plus minus of 2, that is 6. Now we need to find out, that is a is 8 plus 3 into d is minus 2, that is nothing but 8 to the 6 minus 6, that is value 2. Now here we can observe that the AP 4 terms, the 4 terms in AP are 14, 10, 6 and 2. And here also we can find out 2, 6, 10, 14. There are terms are equal in this both case. So finally we can conclude that the four terms are 2, 6, 10, 14. These are the four terms which are, when we divided that four terms, 32 into four terms, which are in AP, and the product of means and product of extremes is in the form of 7:15. That is in the form, that is in the ratio of 7:15. So final answer is 2, 6, 10, 14.